This is a Jmix exclusive.
All right, man. I'm just gonna jump into it. Do you want to give a little intro and tell the folks about yourself?
I mean, I sure can. Okay, hi everybody. This is Truman Jefferson, the producer of Representin 93, song number 10 off 2pac's second album, Strictly. Um, Pretty much, I'm a producer, actor, soon-to-be author, and a big 2pac fan. I was a 2pac fan before I met Pac, and then after we hooked up, we just, kicked it, made music, and that kind of stuff. And that's just me.
You were speaking of soon-to-be author. What is the status of your book, Representin 93?
The book is done. I haven't got an exact release date, but it'll be out next month.
Are you still planning a mixtape to go along with the book?
Yes, as a matter of fact, the mixtape is just about done too. I did a few more songs. It was really kind of hard for me to pick which ones I wanted to do because it's like a lot of pop songs that I kind of like the way they are. So it was like, it was a good song I wanted to redo, but it's like I couldn't touch it. It was like a classic. But
Are there any songs on there that are going to surprise us?
well, one I'm trying to finish right now. It's got Mopreme and Mouse on it, and that's actually the one where I actually remixed Represent 93, and I got a verse for Mo and a verse for Mouse.
A little background on you. You started out in Oakland in a group called Street Thugs, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, the Street Thugs was me, Gangsta One, and Thug Z, and Gangsta One changed his name to Nutso. So basically, we had a crew. It was like we had like a big crew. It was like 4 groups under pretty much one. We didn't have one set unique name. It just we were like 4 different groups that we went everywhere together. We recorded together, and the mastermind of the group was a guy by the name of Tyrell Brewer, and the group he was with was AMW, America's Most Wanted. And he just had all these ideas. It's like we were way ahead of our time. I mean, he had all these ideas on songs and what to do, what have you. So he pretty much made the Street Thugs because we had a whole totally different name. And he said, no, we ain't gonna do that. You got the Street Thugs. We finna do this song. Y'all gonna do this song. And that's how it was. Because as a matter of fact, I think in the Street Thugs, we first got together in '89. So I was 19, and Nutso was maybe like 2 years younger than me, and Thug Z was like a year older than me.
No doubt. Shout out to Nutso too. I just did an 8-part interview series with him, man. Nutso's a cool guy. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, and the thing was, when we first started out, recording and rehearsing, we used to be at his house on 69th Avenue. And the thing is, Keisha Cole is his sister. So this is years ago. Keisha Cole was maybe like 7, 8, whatever. So we'd be rehearsing, whatever, and then we'd leave out the room, whatever, and then she'd go on there and grab the microphone. I'll be like, Sean, man, get your sister, man, she in the way. And then when she started singing, I didn't know she could even sing. Because she always told, me and everybody else she could sing and everything. But I don't really believe it, because I hear it so much. I can sing. But yeah, she could.
No doubt. What year was this?
89, 90, 91.
Well, Nutso and Keisha Cole and yourself are from Oakland, right?
Yes.
How did growing up in Oakland mold you as a person?
Well, I grew up around a bunch of shady characters, really shady characters. And the thing was, back then, in Oakland, especially in Oakland, the rap game was kind of like synonymous with the dope game. It was like you would do whatever it took to buy, like, studio time, equipment, whatever. And a lot of times it was either selling drugs or whatever. It was kind of like, that's what we grew up around. And so, I mean, back then, it was the norm. Whereas right now, it's, you still got the element around, but it's not the norm like it was back then. because back then every rapper I knew so dope, and they used the music as a side thing.
Do you think, because there's a lot of successful acts that come from Oakland, do you think that it's easier or harder to make it coming from Oakland in the music industry?
I think it's harder. What it being is, most groups from Oakland, they leave the town in order to really gain a foothold, because a lot of times groups from Oakland aren't supported in Oakland unless they go outside of Oakland and then they blow up.
How did you get the nickname Big True?
Oh, 2pac. Back then, I used to call myself Young True. And I guess I used to work out a lot, whatever. But after my surgery, I had a hernia surgery. So I didn't work out for maybe 8 months, whatever. So I gained a lot of weight, whatever. Pac was like, Young True, you Big True. So him and Mouse and them used to start calling me Big True. I used to get mad at first, and then after a while I was like, okay, whatever. So I guess about like 93, I became, Big True. I was comfortable with the name. It was like, okay, I'm Big True.
How did you first link up with Tupac?
Through my homie JoJo Flowers. They call him the Gov. So basically, we would be in the Gov's grandma's basement making music. It'd be me, DJ Duro, Richie Rich, or whoever. And it was like, I was just starting to produce pretty much. And DJ Duro was already doing it. So I would go over there, bring my equipment, hook it up, whatever. And then when DJ Duro was doing his thing, I, look over his shoulder, watch how he do beats and everything, So it was he's kind of like my competition. I was trying to get up to his status. So one day, I left my equipment over there overnight, which I normally never do. So I had this beat playing. Because usually what I do is I make a beat and I let it play all night to see how the beat feels, the next day or whatever, when I wake up and hear it, whatever, see if I still like it or not. So I left my equipment over there in Gov's grandma's basement, and the beat was playing. So the next morning, Gov called me and was like, True, man, you got some cats over here selling this beat you got. So I go over there, and it's Pac, Richie Rich, and a few of the cats that was freestyling to the beat. So, it was cool. I thought, okay, that's cool. And then Pac asked Gov who did the beat. And then Gov said, True did the beat, right? So he pointed to me, whatever, And then Pac was like, oh, man, I love this beat, man. I got to have this beat, right? So I said, it's cool, you can have the beat, I'll sell it to you. So, and then instantly, Gov was like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, man. You made the beat in my basement, I get first dibs. But back then, if Pac wanted a beat, Gov wanted a beat, even if it wasn't his style of beat. So, Gov was like, hey, hold up, man, you made it in my basement, I get first dibs. So Pac and Gov got to an argument over the beat. I was like, wait a minute, it's not his beat, it's my beat. And Gov's like, well, you made it in my basement, I get first dibs. So it went back and forth, back and forth. Because finally, Pac said, fuck it, I don't want the beat, and he left. So, I was kind of mad because me and Gov don't really get into arguments about too much of nothing. I mean, because back then, we was kind of like road dogs. So, mad respect for Gov. So, I was like, man, that's kind of messed up, but whatever. So, because Pac's like, True, man, I'm flying to Hollywood and do this, yada, yada, yada. And I wasn't believing him because I heard it before. People say they're going to do this or whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever, whatever. But the next day, I guess Gov had gave Pac my number. And then Pac called me. He's like, this Pac, what's up? That beat was cool, man, but, I don't know what's up with that. It's between you and Gov, right? And I told Pac, I got more beats. He's like, no, I wanted that beat. I said, no, I got more beats. Because what I do is I take one beat and I'll make a variation of the exact same beat. So I played Pac a variation of the exact same beat where I changed the sample a little bit and changed the bass line. And he's like, oh, man, cool, I'll take that one. He thinks it's a whole totally different beat. But it's the exact same beat. I just switched up the bass line and changed the sample a little bit. So,
did Pac ever find out that you gave him the same beat?
Oh, no, he didn't even care. Because basically, the one that Gov got, Gov didn't do anything with it. It was, Gov, like, he asked me, so it's the same beat? It's like, he knew it wasn't his style. And he was like shocked, like he wanted this beat. And it wasn't really his style. And, he was like, oh, okay, cool. He never did record to it anyway. But it was the fact that Pac wanted the beat was the reason why he wanted the beat. So the next day, Pac came by, him and Tretch from 90 by Nature came by the house, and Pac picked up a tape before the summer jam. And it was a trip because my whole block was outside because Tretch and Pac was there. And they was like, oh, man, we got Tretch and Pac, and looking at me like, damn, dude, folks like this, like I was like famous or something. I said, no, I'm just a regular cat, that them the ones that's at the stars. I'm just a regular cat. So Pac got the tape, and then he went to the summer jam, and then that Monday, Lisa, what's Lisa's last name? I can't think of her last name. Lisa Pullman, I think? I can't think of her last name. But she was the secretary for TNT. So she called me up, was like, I'm calling, I'm giving you your flight plans, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, hold on, who is this? He said, you are Truman Jefferson, right? I was like, yeah. She said, well, Pac needs you there Thursday to record the song, and yada, yada, yada. I was like, oh, okay. So, that's how it pretty much started. And then, back then, my equipment was like, I had a rack with a big sampler in it, 2 sound modules, and then I had a big old drum machine and a sequencer. So I carried all that on the plane with me to Hollywood. It was quite an experience.
Were you surprised that Pac flew you out there?
No, as a matter of fact, I already knew it because Gov already told me ahead of time. He's like, chill, man, Pac like that beat, man. He gonna fly you out there, he gonna record the beat and yada, yada, yada. So I was expecting it because even though Pac at the time, he lived in Oakland, he had an apartment by Lake Merritt, but he pretty much lived in Hollywood. I mean, he had actually a suite in the Lake Montrose Hotel, which is like this really nice hotel with all celebrities and stars and stuff go to and everything. So he had like a permanent room down there at the hotel. So Gov was like, because as a matter of fact, Gov gave me the whole rundown. He said, yeah, man, Pac like that beat, man. He gonna fly you down there, whatever. I was like, okay, that sounds cool. But I still wasn't believing it until I got the call.
And this was a Representin 9.3 beat?
Yeah.
Did you get to sit on the recording session for that?
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, I recorded it and mixed it because I was an engineer for a while. Because I became an engineer, I guess, by accident. Because, I would sit there and look over engineer's shoulder and everything. Pretty soon, I was doing what they was doing. So it was easy to me, and I love to make music. And part of that is actually engineering your own session. So once we got there, I hooked up everything. And back then, everybody used to use 2-inch tape. And I worked in a few studios as an engineer where I would line the tape, splice the tape, demagnetize the heads. I mean, it was a whole big deal to record back then. Then you would have to stripe a symphony code on track 24. So if you got to put 2 24 tracks together, it can sync together. So it was like a big thing as opposed to now. Whereas now, all I got to do is just cut on Pro Tools and I'm ready to go. But back then, it took like maybe an hour or so to set up your whole session. So you plug in all the equipment and everything, get your EQ up and everything, a little bit of reverb, and sync the tape and everything, and then you start. But yeah, as a matter of fact, and then when Pac recorded his vocals, I was like super shocked. In 10 minutes, the whole song was done. I was like, you ain't go, no, it's done. I'm like, dude, he said, because what it was, the sample was off a little bit. I wanted to fix the sample. I was like, no, it's cool, man, just run it. So, I recorded the whole track in one take. I had everything already pretty much tracked, everything separated from the bass, the kicks, the snares, and everything separated. So I recorded the music in one take. And then when Pac went in the booth and did that, he was done. And then me, More Mouse, went in there for the ad-libs. Because in the song it goes, hey, something like that, some little small stuff. You couldn't really tell it in the song. But me, Mouse, and Mo did the ad-libs. And then You know, I did a rough mix, and next you know, we was going down the street to Roscoe Chicken and Waffles to eat. And I was so shocked because I'm used to rappers taking, you know, 2 or 3 hours for a verse or whatever, you know, but I'm talking about 10 minutes the song was done. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. It's done? He's like, yeah, it's done. We out. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wait a minute. What you mean it's done? Then, I mean, I'm talking about 2 or 3 takes in 10 minutes, and it sounded like, I mean, it was perfect to me. But I was just so, I wasn't used to that. I was used to, you know, a rapper going in there, doing his first verse, come out, listen to it, go back in, change something, come out, listen to it, go back in, add some ad-libs, whatever, come out, listen to it, and, you know, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it was like, I mean, I wasn't used to that, right? So, in the meantime, after we leave the studio, I'm driving because everybody high. And I don't smoke or drink. So Pop like, all right, sure, you driving. I'm like, well, I got to drive. Well, you fucked up. I said, oh, yeah, okay, you're right. So, because basically in the studio, it smelled a gang of weed, which to me, I like the way weed smell. I just not really, you know, getting high and drunk and everything. So then we left Roscoe Chicken and Waffles, and then we kicked it. I mean, for the rest of the week, we kicked it. As a matter of fact, the next day we went to the comedy club on Sunset, and then we went to it was a club in the Beverly Center called The World back then in '92. And then the next day we went to San Diego with this group called Nice and Smooth. So we went out there to a club and kicked it and everything, and they got this big old suite, and then we kicked it in San Diego and everything. So I kicked it more than I was in the studio. I mean, it was like, you know, it was cool. But Pac had a bad deal. He signed a very bad record deal. I mean, it was like the deal he got, I guess, he got a cool advance, but he signed for a really low royalty rate. But
Are you talking about TNT Records?
yeah. Yeah, so.
Okay. Were you surprised when he left TNT and signed with Death Row?
Yeah, I was.
I kind of jumped on the questions there. I kind of wanted to know that. I'll backtrack a little bit, but there was no buzz about that. You were completely surprised for that move?
Yeah, everybody was shocked because basically we thought Pac was going to get his own label because back then the independent record label was really, you know, really big. You know, the Master P's and that kind of thing. If Pac would have been more business-minded like Master P, he would have been invincible. But, you know, Pac always wanted to be part of a crew. So, you know, at that time, Suge Knight was the biggest crew on the West Coast. And, you know, he always admired Dre. You know, he always wanted to work with Dre and everything. So, you know, with Suge Knight, you know, having Dre up under his label, you know, Death Row, it was, you know, it was kind of like, you know, Pac was like, cool, let's do it, you know. But it shocked me because I assumed he was going to get his own label because he could have.
I believe he was working on that when he passed away.
Yeah, but like when he signed with Death Row, he had enough acts up under him that he's working on. He could have signed like a label deal, but I don't know what happened to him. But
I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. We seen on the internet some footage, apparently claiming to be yours of the Brothers in the Pen session. Can you tell us about that? What that is?
okay, basically, right before my birthday, my grandmother was sick. So in the meantime, I wanted to get out to Hollywood because she was in the hospital not too far from Hollywood at Cedar Mount Sinai. As a matter of fact, the same hospital that Biggie died at. So my grandmother was there, you know, she was real sick and she wasn't supposed to, you know, last too much longer. So I called up Atron, you know. I said, Atron, I ain't got talk new Sky Pager code because back then everybody had these Sky Pagers where you put in the code and anywhere in the world, you know, it's kind of like cell phones now, but you put the code in and then they'll call you back. So Atron gave me Pac's number, this Sky Pager number. So I called up Pac. I said, I got some beats, you know, fly me down. He's like, all right, cool. But I'm doing more on the mouse. I'm demo because they about to get signed to Priority Records. So he said, you got some beats for me? I'm like, yeah. So I played him a few beats. He's like, cool, I'll fly you down. So in the meantime, my father was already down there. So when I got down there, first thing I did was, I got off the plane and everything, and then me and my father went to the hospital. I see my grandmother, for the last time, which happened to be my birthday, as a matter of fact. So my 22nd birthday. So, I see my grandmother, and then we go to the hotel, the Lake Montrose, and the suite was like humongous. I mean, it was a big, nice suite with a fireplace, 2 beds, that kind of thing, right? My father was like, wait a minute, this is all yours? I'm like, yeah. So whose bed is that? I said, it's my bed. He said, the other bed. I said, it's my bed. And so, so I got into the hotel. My father left, so I chilled for a little bit. Then I went upstairs to the swimming pool. And, kind of sat in the pool for a little bit. And then Mo called me up, like, True, you ready? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. So I hopped the cab, and I get to the studio. And the same thing. As a matter of fact, Pac wasn't there. It was just Mo Mouse. So hooked the beat up and everything. And then the thing was, we was in Studio B, and the Lynch Mob was in Studio A. That was Ice Cube and, his crew back then. They were in Studio A. So we kicked it over there, with them for a while. Then we went back to, pretty much, we wasn't even recording. It was just the beat was playing, and Mo and Mouse was just pretty much writing to it. So, and then later that evening time, MC Smooth got there. And MC Smooth, that used to be, she used to go with Adrian, as a matter of fact, which shocked me too, because I didn't know they even went together. So when she came to the studio, right, they rolled some weed up, whatever, and then she wanted to have, a rap battle, So they had the rap battle. And in the meantime, my video recorder, my battery went dead. I was like, no, my battery dead. So they have a little rap battle, whatever, right? So Pac eat her up pretty much. He just eats her up. So she still want to go. And Pac like, I'm through. I'm finished. I'm cool. He's still on the weed up. She's still trying to go at him. He's like, bitch, I'm done. And she was like, like offended, like, she was like, man, okay, whatever. But at the time, I didn't know that she even went with Adrian. I don't know. It just shocked me.
Is it true that the Strictly album was initially called Troublesome?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that was another thing that I got into it with Adrian and how it was about. Okay, basically, some dude shot a cop in Texas and blamed it on one of 2pac's songs. So in the meantime, Dan Quayle, who was the vice president, was really rah to Time Warner about 2pac and his songs and everything. So in the meantime, the album was done. I'm talking about mix, master, album cover, done. And I was so mad because I was supposed to get a check a week before the album came out. So I'm like, I need my money, He say, well, we got to go redo some songs. I'm, what you mean redo some songs? The album is done. So in the meantime, Pac, we in the car, I forgot where we was going to. The Pac and Aiken was getting into it. Because Pac was like, fuck it, I'll put it out myself, this, and yada, yada, yada. And that was my first time even realizing a label had that much power to where an album could be done, mix, master, album cover, everything, and the label say, go redo it. So I was like, wait a minute, I need my money. So I was hella mad because I needed my check. But, in the meantime, so me and Pac got into an argument. So I told Pac to take my song off the album. Good thing he didn't, but I was like, take my song off the album. I'm cool with this, He was like, it's too late. I'm like, whatever. So I was really mad. I mean, because it kind of seemed like to me that, they was playing him, so it felt like they was playing me too.
And they changed the album due to political pressure.
Yeah.
I just this kind of off the record, but I have some scans of some promo shoots, and it had 2pac with a hammer standing around with a bunch of guys in hoods. Is that the original cover for that?
You know what? I can't recall because when I seen it, it was at Al Everett's office in Oakland, and I wasn't really paying attention too much to it because I was I was actually, really like pissed off about my money because what it was, since I couldn't get my advance, from the 2pac album because they had to redo some songs, I sold some of my publishing on the Represent 93 song and the three songs I did for Mo Mouse, to get it in advance because I needed some money. Because basically my car was gone, so I had to buy a new car. So I made a deal for like $5,000 for 25% published on the Representin 93 and 50% published on one of the Mo Mouse songs and 25% published on the other 3 songs. I did 4 for them. I don't know where they went to, but and then on my birthday, which the day me and Mo Mouse recorded this for the Brothers in the Pen, that's when Pac, I guess he got kicked out the movie Men's Society. And what happened was he came to his studio, he was hella mad. I guess what it was, he was being Pac like he normally is, and then they, basically he left the set. But then H came to the studio, was like, Pac, you should go back, you need the money, this, that, and that. Because that back then, Pac didn't even have his own bank account. All this money came from H. I was like, wait a minute. You mean you got a movie juice, one album already came out, and you still ain't got your own account? I thought something was wrong with that one. I don't know. I don't know what they had going on, but it just seemed strange to me that H had all the money, and, Pac had to, get money for Adrian, but it was H's money. So H was telling Pac, you could use the money, yada, yada, yada. So Pac goes back to the set, and they said, we don't want you. And that's when he got to a fight with the Hughes brothers.
Oh, the infamous fight, did you witness it?
Nah, I wasn't there. As a matter of fact, I flew home. Right, and then I heard about it. And then the time when
Pac was filming Poetic Justice during this time. Did you get a chance to visit the set, and would you please tell us the Janet Jackson story?
You know what? Okay, this is the thing with him and Janet Jackson. Okay. I kicked it with him and Janet Jackson away from the set, whatever, down in Hollywood, as a matter of fact. And what it was, Pac thought he was finna get something. I was like, Pac, he ain't finna get that. I mean, like, man, I'm finna get that. I said, no, you're not finna get that. And she changed her number on him. And it was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, whoa, okay. I guess she ain't feeling you. She changed her number, and then she wouldn't give it to him, and nobody else would give it to him. But yeah, I see Pac on the set, as a matter of fact. I was with Gov, as a matter of fact. So we went to the set, but I really didn't, do too much. I pretty much just, sat around the car, chill, listen to music and everything.
Can I ask you where you were when you heard that Tupac was shot in New York?
I was actually at home. I was living on 86th Avenue in Oakland, and then her Pac got shot, 5 times. When you get shot 5 times, once in the head, I'm already thinking he's dead. So but he didn't die.
Did you ever speak to him about it?
We talked about it, but he really didn't shoot too much off it. It was like, hey, I'm here. Fuck that, I'm here. He didn't, he's like, he really didn't bring it up. But one thing I was mad about was when that little boy got shot. They blamed it on Pac.
The Santa Rosa shooting?
Yeah, exactly. And Pac had nothing to do with it. It was like Pac was actually getting his ass beat, and the dude beat up his truck once they beat him up. So it was kind of like King Neo had banned Tupac because the little boy got shot. And I was like, wait a minute, how Station going to ban somebody for something that they had nothing to do with? I mean, it was like Pac was signing autographs or whatever, and then got jumped. So I don't know, somebody went to the car. I don't know who did, who was shooting or whatever, but I know it wasn't Pac because he was getting his ass beat.
Did he ever say anything to you after that, after the press of it, and then blaming on him? Was he pissed off about that?
I mean, he really didn't talk about it, really. But one thing, they kept his Jeep. As a matter of fact, and this happened after we recorded Representin 93 and before the Brothers in the Pen. But it's like, you know, he really didn't bring it up too much, you know. I was like, Pop, where your Jeep at? He said, man, they kept my Jeep. I was like, damn, they kept your Jeep? I'm like, yeah. They kept it for evidence. He never got it back.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've given me a lot here. I just got two more for you, brother. What do you think people's biggest misconception of Tupac is or was?
Okay, one of the biggest ones, which I hear from people every day. Not every day, but a lot. They're like, well, Pac wasn't like this artist. He never would record with a Lil Wayne or whoever or this, that, and that. And that's like a big misconception. Because Pac wanted to work with everybody. If anybody's doing something hot, he want to work with them. So, it was, you know, that's why folks say, man, Pac would never work with Lil Wayne. I said, yeah, if Pac was alive, yeah, he would. If it's somebody hot, he want to, you know what I'm saying, do a song with them. He can, you know, who they was, whatever. If they was hot, he wanted to work with them. And he wanted to work with everybody. And then another one was that he really hated the East Coast. I mean, he hated some cats on the East Coast. But Pac is from New York. So it's kind of like the beef got personal when you had your Tim Dogs and this kind of folks, you know, making records about, you know, West Coast and this, that, and that, and that, and that. And with him hanging with Suge Knight, which is, you know, they was really gangbangers. It was like, you know, most of them was like really, really gangbangers. So that's what they represented. And they turned to the East Coast.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do you think that Tupac was getting involved with the gang side of Death Row?
I don't think so. Because Pac was his own man. It was like he could hang around the biggest, like I hung around some of the biggest drug dealers in Oakland. He could hang around the biggest drug dealers and still be his own man. So he hung around them, the music business, you know, they was, you know, when something went down, he was there. Of course, he gonna jump in. But Pac was never into the gang thing. And the thing was, when he first got with Death Row, me and Dion, Big D, Dion Evans, we went down there, you know, to try to do some more songs. And Pac was like, you know, I can't do it, y'all. So it's a Death Row thing, you know. So he was down for the label, not really for the gang, per se. But even though the biggest gangbanger was the head of the label, Suge Knight. But he was more, you know, there for the camaraderie of the crew itself, you know. And the gang was just a part of it.
Are you saying that Tupac was shying away from the people he used to work with after signing to Death Row?
Yeah, he did.
Do you think that was because of Suge's influence or just because he was doing his own thing at Death Row?
I think it has something to do with Suge. Because even Shock G was like, you know, he cool. He didn't want to remember that bunch. He couldn't do it. Because I was like, you know, Shock G didn't even want to, you know, try to get on any songs with Pac when he got to Death Row, which I thought was a trip. Because if it wouldn't have been for, you know, Shock G, you know, it wouldn't have been Tupac at Death Row.
Tupac turned down working with Shock G too.
Yeah.
I hate to ask you this, man, but I got to wrap it up with this and one more. What was your reaction to hearing that he had been shot again in Vegas? Did you think that he was going to pull through like the New York shooting?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, everybody did. When he first got shot, right? I started Mo Preem, Shock G, DJ Fuse, you know, it was like, you know, we was all going down to Vegas, you know, and everybody like, you know, if he gonna make it, you know, he got shot 5 times before, he gonna make it. So I guess the day when he passed away, I was actually contemplating on going to Vegas. So I dropped my kids off, whatever, you know, so I'm driving somewhere and I parked. And then I had a radio come on, Shed So Many Tears came on, and it just hit me. I already knew. I was like, damn. And then, you know, it just said Tupac's chorus passed away, yada, yada, yada. And the thing was, his funeral was the next day. As a matter of fact, because we didn't even know about the funeral. As a matter of fact, when he passed away, we went to KMEA, which is the biggest station in the Bay Area. We went to KML to, talk about Pac's life and everything. It was me, DJ Fuse didn't go. Big D, Deion Evans went. A few other people that work with Pac had went and everything. And what it was, I guess when Pac had the operation and took his lung out, he was already brain dead. So his mother was making arrangements anyway. She already knew it was, that he wasn't going to pull through. Even though that he was alive, he was still brain dead. So she knew he wouldn't like that. So he passed away that Friday. The next day, they had a funeral. The only person I knew that was there was Mopreme. He went. So on Monday, we were all expecting to go to this funeral. It's a big funeral. So on Monday, I called Shock G up to ask him, what's up with the funeral, yada, yada. He said, man, he already had it. I was like, huh? He was surprised. He didn't even know about it. It was so hush-hush, he didn't even know about it. I said, the one person I thought would know would be Shock G. So when I called him, he's like, nah, it's already done.
After all the... did you have something you wanted to add? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's it.
After all these years and all the work that you did with him, what does that make you smile memory of Tupac?
This is kind of funny. We was at the hotel in San Diego, with nice, smooth and everything, and I had this chick I was messing with, right? So me and this chick went to the room, whatever, right? And I came, out the room. I was like, "Dog, man, you did it wrong." I was like, "No, dude." He's like, "No, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You didn't have no condom when you went in there." So they brought me pretty hard about that one. He's like, "Man, you can't be doing that shit, man. Fucking them bras raw and everything." So, we had they had a big laugh about that one. Yeah, it was pretty hilarious. So, but working with Pac, it's like it kind of spoiled me from working with other artists to where I expect a whole lot. To where I'm real picky when I'm working with certain artists. If they're not up to standards, whatever, it's like I'm cool. I can't work with it. If I got to put too much work into it, I'm good.
Can you tell the fans where they can go to find your book when it comes out, and where they can go to support you and what you're doing next? Okay.
They can find the book will be on Amazon.com. As a matter of fact, the book is, the website is Representin 93/thebook.com. And I don't have a definite release date, but it's sometime in November.
Is there anything else you want me to plug during the interview?
Yeah, I'm a big Tupac fan. I was a Pac fan before I met Pac. I've been a big Pac fan ever since. And, he was just a really great artist. He was a cool dude, but, as far as an artist, he can do a song in 10 minutes, and the song will be done. That's why he did so many songs, because you give him a beat, the song is done in 10 minutes, and it sounds good. Hook, verse, everything. That's why it's not shocking to me when I hear, well, man, I got so much work that it's not coming out. He did so much. He can do like 10 songs in one day. Literally 10 songs in one day.
How did you feel when Funk Master Flex came out and said what he said about Tupac?
I didn't hear what he said.
Well, I'll repeat it off the record. He said Tupac, and he played some Biggie in New York about a year and a half ago.
Oh, that's just animosity between them two. I don't know why, but I think some people just don't like Pac, especially from the East Coast, because he represented the West Coast, and some feel that he shouldn't be as big an artist now as he is with him being dead for so long. So that's just something, somebody hating somebody. I don't know why, but it's just like animosity. It's kind of like where if Pac was to hear that, he would actually go after that cat.
No doubt.
Yeah, he would. I'm talking about literally go after him.
Well, I appreciate it, brother. I'm going to edit it down, and I'll promote the crap out of it.
Okay, cool. Jesse, and once again, man, thanks for reaching out, man. I appreciate that.
No problem. It was a great interview, Truman, and you be safe.
All right, thank you, man. Peace.
All right, have a good one, bro.
Hello all, it's Jmix here, and I wanted to start off by humbly thanking all my YouTube subscribers and viewers for checking out the videos, liking the videos, commenting on the videos. It is appreciated. I do appreciate the fact that you come back and you watch my uploads, but I do have a favor to ask because I've run into some problems with YouTube and the Google platform. I've made a couple backup channels. Now if you check the links in the description, you're going to see links to two different channels that I've set up. One is for my full-length interviews, Jmix exclusives. The other is to back up the content that you see on the channel that you're watching right now. That way, if anything does happen and the channel is removed like it was early of last year, I still have a place to upload my interviews, and you still have a place to go to watch your favorite 2pac interviews. Once again, I want to give a huge shout out to you guys, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. I just humbly ask that you check out the links in the description and be sure to sub to those channels. Thank you everybody, and I'll see everybody on the next upload. One love.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?